a majority of the board members sat down in a meeting duly convened according to our legal instruments, according to our articles of association, and they decided to remove the chairman, who is part of the cartel, the group that is bringing down this hospital. And we did it procedurally. A majority, 7 out of 13. Unfortunately, the chairman, the CEO, and the company secretary want to cling on. One must ask themselves, why would you cling on after you have been removed? The answer is simple. The sort of things they are doing, they fear if somebody else takes over, then it will be too bad for them. Look, on the 10th of March this year, the same chairman I have now replaced, the same chairman, removed another chairman in similar circumstances, if not worse. So, if he is going to raise any issues, and I hear instead of raising issues, he's talking about my character. Manyora is not this, Manyora is that. No, Manyora is just here to do a good job, to save a hospital. By the way, members of the press, this is not my hospital. It's not my level. Me, I'm a village boy from Lombei, as you all know. I can't afford Nairobi Hospital. I came on the board because there are people who felt my voice could help. I have tried like for 2 years. We've gotten to a point where unless you change the leadership, you cannot change this hospital. You cannot change this hospital. And therefore, we gotten to a point, and we did that legally, but the company secretary has the legal mandate to effect these changes. For example, it is the company secretary who must write to the members that there is a change. In the last takeover of 10th of March, he did that within minutes. In this time, he's saying he cannot. The company secretary must inform the registrar of companies of the changes. He cannot. And the reason is, he's part of the team that is hell-bent on sucking every little penny out of this hospital. Every little penny. Including them wanting to borrow 4 billion against these assets. Tell me how a poorly run facility with the worst possible governance, tell me how such a managers, such a board under the leadership of such a people, how they can pay a loan of 4.2 billion. Will they? The result will be the hospital will be auctioned. And like I've said before, there are people waiting for that. And we cannot allow them. Before I end my statement and ask you if you have any question, maybe I can just demonstrate to you. I have said, for example, if you walk inside, and this being a public facility, nobody should stop you from walking inside. You should be able to walk inside and check the theaters. There's one wonderful theater, but the other this side, they're horrible. Experiences from patients. And the complaint from insurance companies, because we are overcharging patients, and the insurance companies are having a problem. Patients, some of them are complaining. It's not always true that everybody who walks through this gate is a billionaire. No. And why are we overcharging patients? Because people are squandering the money patients pay. If the money patients were paying, because this is not a profit-making organization. But the guys are squandering. Example I can give you, in the last financial year, last audited accounts, and you can access, that's public information, we made a loss of 1.2 billion shillings. Loss. Another example, in the last financial year, we spent 500 million on legal fees, on legal matters. Who are we fighting in court? Look at where we are now. Because they are at war. They are in Naivasha. As a duly elected chairman, I instructed them to cancel that retreat. They ignored. We went to court. The court asked them to cancel that retreat and not to hold any activities in Naivasha. They have ignored even that. It shows you the sort of people we are talking about. So with all this kind of mess, with the capture of the hospital by forces outside, working in cohorts with those inside, with the board leadership that we have removed, with the management we are talking about, you can imagine this hospital is gone. And therefore, a few of us have stepped in to put to an end the wranglings that have been going on in this hospital for far too long. The story of Nairobi Hospital must change from today. Nairobi Hospital will no longer be captive. This hospital will no longer be captive to evil forces operating from outside in collusion with those inside. And therefore my challenge to my colleagues, the chairman and the rest, my challenge is simple. Fellow board members have come, a few of them, 2 of them have come, the others also. My challenge to them is, this is a position of service. If procedurally you have been removed and you are just serving, why are you putting up a fight? I mean, what is it you are fighting for? This is just service. If they feel they want to remove me tomorrow, I have no problem because I want to serve. So that's my challenge to them. Why are you fighting? What is it you are hiding? What is inside here you don't want others to know? And I'll say this. When the last chairman was removed, there was no noise. It was smooth. Like I told you, the company secretary effected the changes immediately. The evidence is on the internet. He shared with the members of KHA that this board leadership change. The question is it because this is a house thing? It belongs to a particular community. Because the last chairman was removed by a person from his community. Does it mean hii hospitali ni ya watu fulani, kabila fulani? Kwa hivyo kabila huyu akitolewa na kabila yake, hapa hakuna shida. Lakini Manyora anakuja kumtoa asaidie hii hospitali na Manyora sio wa hilo kabila, sasa atapigwa vita. To summarize, before you ask me any question, unless my colleagues here have something to say, just to summarize. Board members in the majority lost confidence in the chairman, seeing the terrible things are happening.
Wait.
Yeah. They lost confidence. Procedurally, they called a meeting. Procedurally, they removed the chairman, and procedurally, they elected me. The question is, why are they fighting? Thank you. Who is in there too?
So, 2 chairs.
No, there's only 1 chair. Look, if you look at the court order and give it the proper interpretation, the court order stops them from conducting business of the hospital, from holding meetings. Okay? Doesn't stop me, because the court recognizes I am the bona fide chairman. When you meet procedurally under the Company Act and pass a resolution and you are in the majority, that resolution is binding. It can only be challenged in court. They cannot challenge a resolution of the board. A resolution of the board can only be challenged in court, anywhere, in any board, unless it's a government body. If it's a government like corporation or state corporation or parastate, as we call them, then the minister may intervene. Okay? The parent ministry can intervene, like you've seen in the case of the University of Nairobi. But if this is a company running under the Company Act, no?
So what was the agenda in Naivasha? Why were they meeting and some of your board members were there?
In Naivasha, we had planned a retreat. Okay? These are normal events. And during the retreat, you then have one afternoon or thereabout, or maybe one morning, set aside for a board meeting, where all the others live, like the trustees are not part of that, staff are not part of that, and you remain board members and you transact board business. Maybe you look at what transpired during the retreat. So they were there to do that, which was normal, except because of the changes, I instructed them to cancel the retreat. And I was instructing the company, the CEO. When they disobeyed, I asked the court. I've been duly elected as chairman. I have cancelled a retreat and anything that's going on in Naivasha. The court accepted with me, agreed with me, and issued an order. Could it get worse than that?
members if they want to say something.
Any question? Any other person?